Hello everyone, myself Amruta Patil, lecturer from Department of Information Technology, Arihant Education Foundation, Arihant Arts Commerce Science, Junior College, Bowden, Pune. Today I am here to explain the topic Introduction to DBMS. The contents which I am going to cover in this session are data types in the DBMS, data model, relational model, properties of transactions, introduction of RDBMS, basic database concept, relationships in the database, and introduction to the SQL. So one by one we will be going to cover the contents. The first is the data types in the DBMS. Database is designed according to certain rules. Okay, so this is logical structure of database that is known as a model. Okay, whatever logical structure is there of a database, that is called as a model. Data models define how the data is connected to each other and how they are processed and stored inside the system. So what is a data model? It is a model that shows, that defines how the data is connected to each other in a database and how they are processed and stored inside the system of the database. Okay, so it describes the method of storing and retrieving the data. There are different data models like network model, hierarchical model, and relational model. Okay, so let us see the relational model in detail. So here the class data type description is given. So firstly we will be seeing the data types. First is the character and variable character. These all come under the class text. Okay, so what this character data type, it holds a fixed length string, can contain the letters, numbers, and special characters. Okay, so the fixed size is specified into the parenthesis given. Okay, so var carries variable character, it holds a variable length string, can contain letters, numbers, and special characters. The maximum size is specified into the parenthesis. Okay, so next class is the numeric class, where the data types used are decimal, integer. Decimal means it can represent numbers with or without the fractional part. Okay, so that can be both the possibilities. So next is integer data type, int. It is used for storing the integer values. So next the class is date. Date is another data type also. It holds the date including the day, month, and the year. Okay, next is time. Time is a class where time is a data type also. It holds the time. The format used can be HHMMSS, that is hour, minutes, and seconds. The relational model, you can see here the type of data model. This is the most popular data model in DBMS which is used, that is the relational model. Okay, relational data model is the primary data model which is used widely around the world for data storage and processing. Okay, so this model is simple and has all the properties and capabilities required to process the data with storage efficiency. So this is one of the advantage of using this relational data model. Here the capabilities are high, that is it has a it processes the data with storage efficiency. Okay, a transaction is a unit of work that is performed against a database. Okay, what is the definition of a transaction? It is the unit of work actually that is performed against a database. Okay, so for example, if you are creating a record or updating a record or deleting a record from the table, then you are performing a transaction actually on that table. Okay, so the example of this transaction is given here. Next is, it is important to control these transactions to ensure the data integrity and to handle the database errors. Okay. Next point is the properties of transaction. This is very important topic from examination point of view. Transactions have the following four standard properties, usually referred to by the acronym ACID. ACID. Each one is named here. A is atomicity, C is consistency, I is isolation, and D is durability. So first is atomicity. What it does, it ensures that all the operations within the work unit are completed successfully. Okay, so Otherwise, the transaction is aborted at the point of failure and all the previous operations are rolled back to their former state. So, what this atomicity property ensures, it ensures that all the operations within the work unit are completed successfully. If an operation is started to execute, that operations should complete. That is looked after by the property atomicity. If suppose the transaction is aborted, halted, stopped, okay, and then that point, due to some point failure or something, any reason, then what happens is the previous operations which were cleared, which were successfully completed, those are rolled back to the former state. Okay, that is the atomicity. Next is consistency. It ensures that the database properly changes states upon a successfully committed transaction. Okay, means what? The changes whatever are there that have to be successfully committed, that have to be successfully saved. Okay, so the database properly changes the states upon the successfully committed transaction is seen by the consistency property. Isolation is the third property. It enables transactions to operate independently of and transparent to each other. Okay, whatever operations, one or more than operations are being executed in a particular system, that should be independently performed. Okay, all the operations should not be dependent on each other. They should be transparent to each other. Okay, that is isolation. Next is durability. It ensures that the result or effect of a transaction, committed transaction, persists in case of a system failure. Okay, durability means what? If at all a system crashes, system failure happens, then whatever committed transactions are there, they have to be persistently there, present at that particular time. Okay, the result or effect of those committed transactions should be saved in after any case of system failure. Okay, so that is durability. So these are the four properties of transactions, ACID properties. Next is introduction of RDBMS. RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. In RDBMS, a database is considered as a collection of interrelated data. So the basic database concept we will be seeing here. First of all, table. Table is the basic data storage unit in a relational database. Okay, relational database management system is a the data is stored here in the form of a table. Okay, so table consists of columns and rows, as we all know. A database consists of one or more tables according to which data is stored in a table. Okay, so database designer, what he does, he decides the name of the table and the titles of the columns. Okay, he is the person who decides all these things. Field means what? A table consists of information which is stored under different headings such as fields or columns. Okay, so columns are shown vertically in a table. As we know, each field or column has an individual name. Two columns cannot have the same name, so because here this is the unique table should be there which has to have all the columns which are having the different names. Figure number 1 shows the first row represents the different field names or titles of the columns. So I'll be showing you the figure. Firstly, we'll see the record also. What is record? All the columns in a table make a row. Okay, each row contains information on individual topics. A record is composed of fields and contains all the data about one particular person, company or item in a database. Okay, so record is also called as a tuple. So here you will be seeing the table. This is the figure where this is a table. Here all the data is stored. Table object. Okay. So this is a row. Row is also called as a record. Now the recruiter, educational requirement, bachelor's degree is there. He is working as a HR. His maximum pay is this much and minimum pay is this much. Column means a particular column. Education requirements column. You can see column is also called as a field. Data value means what? One particular cell which is selected is the data value. So what is key? a column or a combination of columns which can be used to identify one or more rows tuples in a table is called a key of the table. Okay, so in that you can say primary key and foreign key. Primary key means what? The group of one or more columns used to uniquely identify each row of a relation is called its primary key. So in this the in this table there is no primary key. You can see if we add the employee number, okay, employee id, that can be the primary key which will uniquely identify each row of a relation. Okay, what is foreign key? It is a field or a collection of fields. Field means it's a column again. Okay, so it can be one column or multiple columns in a table that refers to the primary key in another table. Okay, that key, that foreign key, will be referring to the primary key in the another table. So there are two tables. In the second table there is a foreign key which is referring to the primary key of the first table. That key is called as the foreign key. Relationships in database means what? Relationships link data from individual tables to increase the usefulness of the database. Okay, so linking between the data of one to the data of the second table or third table. So linking between the individual tables to increase the usefulness of the database. A relationship in the context of databases is a situation that exists between two relational databases tables when one table has a foreign key that is used as a reference key to the primary key of the other table. Okay, so for example, with the help of example we can understand this. A table called employees, there's a table known as employees table, has a primary key called the employee id, because employee id is the unique column, unique key. Okay, so another table called employee details has a foreign key which references employee id in order to uniquely identify the relationship between the two tables. Okay, so the primary key is employee id in employees table, and employee details is a table which has a foreign key which is referring to employee id of the first table, of the employees table. Okay, so there is a relationship. So what kind of relationships can exist in a relational database design? So they are one to one, one to many, or many to one. Then last one is many to many. Okay, the first one is in a one to one relationship, one record in a table is associated with one and only one record in another table. Okay, so that shows the one to one record. Okay, one to one. So next is one to many or many to one. Okay, both the things are there. For example of one to one we have not seen. We will see now what is one to one example. In a company database, each employee has only one person id and each passport id is assigned to only one person. Okay, so they are saying there is a complete database and each employee has only one person id. Okay, every person is given a particular person id which is not same to other person, and each passport id is assigned to only one person. So each and every person is having his or her unique passport id. Okay, so that is a one to one relationship. Next, a one-to-one relationship looks like below in the relationships graph. Okay, so next we will be seeing this is most common relationships type. Which one? One to many or many to one. In this type of relationship, a row in a table city, okay, can have many matching rows in table customer, but a row in a table customer can have only one matching row in a table city. So here you can see there is a one to many relationship. There are cities which are named by city id and city name. Then there are many customers. Okay, so one city can have many customers, that is customer ids. Okay, so that is showing one to many relationship. Okay, so this is Next is one-to-many relationships can also be viewed as many-to-one relationships depending on which way you look at it. Okay, in the above example only we can see customer table is the many and the city table is the one. Okay, so each customer can only be assigned one city can be assigned to many customers. Okay, so that can be a one-to-many and many-to-one example. The third is many to many. You can see a many to many relationship occurs when multiple records in a table are associated with multiple records in another table. Okay, multiple records in table product are linked to multiple records in in table supplies. Okay, so there are many products who are supplied by many suppliers. Okay, so many products, many suppliers, many to many relationship. Okay, so this was the relationships. Next we will be moving towards the topic introduction to SQL. This is also very important topic. SQL is a structured query language, okay, which is a computer language, okay, for storing, manipulating and retrieving the data stored in a relational database. We need the SQL. SQL is the standard language for relational database management system. Okay, so all the relational database management systems like MySQL base, Oracle, Sybase, Informix, Postgres, and SQL Server use SQL as standard database languages. Okay, so we will be looking towards the categories of SQL commands. Okay, what kind of commands are there in a SQL language? Okay, first is DDL, data definition language commands. Okay, DDL statements or commands are used to define and modify the database structure of your database tables or schema. When you execute a DDL statement, it takes effect immediately. Okay, data definition language means what? To define and modify the database structure of your tables. Okay, DDL language commands are used. Okay, next is data manipulation language commands. When used these commands for managing the data, we are using these DML statements. Okay, next is DCL commands, is data control language commands. The name itself tells you to these are used to control user access in a database. Okay, it is related to the security issue. Okay, so it also deals with the rights and permissions of the database access. Okay, so there are many people who are working with the databases, DBMS. So the database administrator is there, database designer is there. There are various levels of users. So those are all given different control accesses with the help of DCL commands. So this is the classification given: DDL, DML and DCL. What are the commands used in DDL are create database is there, create a table is there, alter the table is there, drop the table and drop the total database. Okay, so next is DML. In DML we will be having select, update, delete and insert into. Insert into is used to insert the records into a particular table. Okay, so next is DCL, that is data control language. In that grant and revoke is there. Grant command is used to give access or to the users. Okay, so who are accessing the databases, and revoke is to take out that access privileges by the users from the users. So these are the basic commands which are used in particular SQL language. Thanks for watching.